I feel like the story can become very stigmatized because of extremist sentiments that some people hold, especially like anti-Shia sentiments. He is the Prophet's grandson, and he did a very hard and very big thing that should be praised and understood and remembered. And then there are some who refuse to acknowledge it at all, which I think honestly is such a loss for them because it's such a big part of Islam.
Assalamu alaikum, my name's Sadiq. I'm a Shia Muslim in London, part of a tech digital business in the capital. Pretty boring background, but with Ugandan parents, originally from India.
Walaikum salam, I'm Kara. I am a Sunni Muslim. My parents are Pakistani. I was born and raised in New York. I currently work at a public school in New York City.
I've been born and raised in a Shia household. That's kind of all I've ever known, all I've ever seen, which I guess is what makes this conversation really enlightening for me. The man we're here to talk about and discuss and understand is someone who I've grown up loving, being inspired by, that I've lived by as much as I can throughout my whole life, which is Imam Hussain alayhi salam, Hussain ibn Ali. And as I understand it, he holds some kind of status and inspiration on your side as well, which I'd love to learn about.
My mom grew up like telling us of the story and telling us of, the atrocity, honestly, that occurred, of how Imam Hussain went to defend his people and his religion. And she told us the story of what happened to him and how it's important for us to remember Muharram. Imam Hussain is like the protector and the preserver of Islam in a way, where if he didn't go to defend Islam and his people and didn't go to that battle, Islam in the way that we know it would not be that.
I was at a university in the West Midlands. There was a huge diverse range of Muslims there. And I remember the Hussain campaign was something that we were helping, and we got these stickers that basically said, "I stand with Hussain against oppression." And I remember a lot of the members of the Islamic Society would come up, have a bit of a chat with us, take a sticker, scrunch it, put it in the bin, and then walk off. And when I got to the prayer room, I then saw that they were telling people who were wearing them in the prayer room to say, "You shouldn't be wearing that. Hussain didn't stand for this. Hussain made a mistake. He shouldn't have stood up against the caliph of the time, the rightly guided caliph at the time, so you shouldn't cause fitna and disunity."
That's not unfounded in Sunni communities or in the community that I saw in college, right? Like that was very much there. After one of the majlises that I worked/attended, because our campus was open to the community, there was someone who came in with a video of one of our Shia chaplains, old majlises, and they were like, "You have this guy spewing all this fitna, all this hate." And there were some students on campus that actually went to the other chaplains and they were like, "Why is he on this campus? Why is he in our space?" Look into yourself and ask who is creating that division, and why are you so headstrong in not understanding the story? I think people in that spectrum are so fueled by wanting to hate something, by wanting to create a division like that, that they involve themselves and utilize and weaponize anti-Shia rhetoric and really diminish that story. There's always the underlying theme of standing up to the oppressor and fighting for social justice. You can't forget that. For me, I think if you know the story and then you try to work on social justice, if you disregard or forget that story, you're not understanding the story right, or you're not understanding social justice and activism correctly. His grandfather was the messenger of this religion. He went to go protect his religion, and he went to go protect his people, and he went to go protect Muslims, because there was an abuse of power and an abuse of religion happening there. That's a very big reason why mourning occurs 1400 years later. The message of the battle, the reason that the battle occurred on that sand that day, it's not difficult once you just listen. Like, it's not complicated. If you just allow your heart and your eyes and your mind to open up and just read something that you are not familiar with.
I think then for me, Imam Hussein's stand is the litmus test. It's like a daily battle inside of myself to go, I know that's right, I know that's wrong, I know that's right, I know that's wrong. He's the litmus test on which side is he on. I need to make sure I'm on that side. So I see him as like a role model on a practical level, on a day-to-day, a spiritual level as to how to ascend, and even on a macro level as well, to see what's the right, what's the wrong. And I think fundamentally not to be scared, no matter the ramification, to stand up for what's right.
For you to kind of see that as a Sunni, the way that I grew up with the story and then developed it and developed my understanding, why has that kind of changed for you? Why has like our conversation and my understanding of the story, like what has that shown you?
I think it's given me renewed, I'd probably say the word hope, that what I see on my Twitter feed isn't representative of the everyday Sunni that I will get to speak to and interact with. Definitely, there are Sunnis out there who I should re-engage with and say, hey, do you remember this guy? Let's talk about that guy. Fundamentally, it's about us uniting under truth. And if we can come together and realize that he stood for truth, I think it's just going to be a better place for everyone to get along and to be together as one, which I think is fundamentally the goal.